Welcome! In the ever-shifting landscape of modern culture, some figures don't just participate, they transform everything around them. Few have done this with the raw power of Elvis Presley. More than a singer, he was a cultural earthquake whose aftershocks still shape our world. His story is one of humble beginnings, meteoric rise, and the heavy cost of fame. To understand today's music, fashion, and celebrity, we must look at the legacy Elvis left behind. Let's begin our journey through the life of the king. In the small, dusty town of Tupelo, Mississippi in 1935, a child was born into hardship and hope. Elvis Aaron Presley entered the world as the surviving twin of Gladys and Vernon Presley. His brother Jesse Garon lost at birth. The Presleys lived in a tiny two-room house, their lives marked by struggle and resilience, but also by a deep, abiding love that would shape Elvis's earliest years. Raised by devoted parents Vernon and Gladys, Elvis found his first inspiration in the heartfelt gospel music that filled their humble church. The rhythms and harmonies of Sunday mornings became the soundtrack of his childhood, offering comfort and a sense of belonging. It was here, among the pews and hymns, that Elvis's love for music first took root. Shy and introspective, Elvis clung to his first guitar, a simple birthday gift from his mother that became his constant companion. In the quiet corners of their home, he strummed and sang, slowly discovering the power of his own voice. Music became his refuge, a way to express feelings he couldn't put into words. In 1948, the Presleys packed up and moved to Memphis, searching for new opportunities. The city pulsed with life and music, blues drifting from Beale Street, country twang from local bars, and gospel echoing from churches. For Elvis, Memphis was a revelation, a place where musical boundaries blurred and creativity thrived. At Humes High, Elvis was quiet and often felt like an outsider, his clothes and manner setting him apart. But when he took the stage at a school talent show, his voice and presence electrified the room, revealing his rare ability to connect with an audience and hinting at the star he would become. Working odd jobs to help his family, Elvis absorbed the sounds of Memphis everywhere he went. Whether delivering supplies or sweeping floors, he listened, learned, and quietly shaped a new musical identity, blending the city's diverse influences into something uniquely his own. The influences of the South, blues, gospel, country, merged within him, creating a musical melting pot that would soon ignite a revolution. A unique sound was forming in the heart of a shy boy from Tupelo, ready to burst onto the world stage and change music forever. In the summer of 1953, a shy 18-year-old Elvis Presley nervously stepped into the legendary Sun Records studio in Memphis. He paid a few dollars to record a demo, hoping to catch the ear of someone who could help him break into the music business. The studio, filled with the scent of old wood and the hum of anticipation, was a world away from his humble beginnings. Elvis poured his heart into the microphone, his voice trembling with both nerves and raw emotion. Behind the glass, Marian Keisker, Sam Phillips's trusted assistant, listened intently. She was struck by the sincerity and unique quality in Elvis's voice, making a note to remember his name. Months passed, but Marian's instincts proved right. Sam Phillips, always on the lookout for something fresh, invited Elvis back, hoping to discover a new sound that could bridge the gap between genres. During a tense and seemingly unproductive session, Elvis suddenly broke into an impromptu version of That's All Right. His playful energy and spontaneous fusion of blues and country electrified the room. No one had ever heard anything quite like it. Guitarist Scotty Moore and bassist Bill Black quickly joined in, their instruments weaving around Elvis's vocals. Together, the trio created a sound that was raw, vibrant, and undeniably new. The birth of rock and roll was happening in real time. When the single hit Memphis radio, it was like a spark in dry grass. Teenagers from all backgrounds tuned in, drawn together by the irresistible beat. The music blurred racial lines, challenging the norms of the era and igniting a cultural revolution. On stage, Elvis was a force of nature. His wild dance moves, magnetic presence, and soulful voice sent crowds into a frenzy. Every performance felt like a celebration of freedom and youthful rebellion. To the youth of America, Elvis represented hope and liberation, a new way to express themselves. But to the older generation, he was a dangerous influence, a symbol of change they couldn't control. As his fame soared, Elvis was crowned the king of rock and roll. The world watched as a new era in music began, forever altering the cultural landscape. Jukeboxes blared his songs, dance floors filled with fans, and radios across the country tuned into the new sound that was sweeping the nation. The legend of Elvis Presley was set in motion, and the world would never look back. Elvis's rise was powered by a constellation of talent. Guitarist Scotty Moore and bassist Bill Black helped craft the rockabilly sound, later joined by drummer DJ Fontana. Songwriters like Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller penned classics, Hound Dog, Jailhouse Rock, that defined his persona. The Jordanaires' harmonies became a signature of his RCA years, adding polish and depth. In Vegas, the TCB band and vocal groups like the Sweet Inspirations elevated his live shows to new heights. Elvis drew greatness from those around him, pushing everyone to their best. His music was always a collaboration, a creative ecosystem that evolved with him. The King's sound was never his alone. It was the product of remarkable partnerships. Elvis's legacy lives in his records. A journey from Sun's raw singles to RCA's polished hits. Early tracks like That's All Right and Mystery Train were revolutionary, defining the birth of rock and roll. His debut album topped charts, blending rockabilly with tender ballads. The late 50s unleashed a torrent of hits: Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, Jailhouse Rock, Love Me Tender. The 60s brought film soundtracks and romantic standards like Can't Help Falling in Love. A creative rebirth came with the 1968 TV special And From Elvis in Memphis, showcasing a mature, soulful artist. His live albums captured the spectacle and power of his stage presence. From first to last, his discography is a golden thread through American music. Hollywood beckoned, and Elvis answered, seeking to follow his acting idols. Early films like Love Me Tender and Jailhouse Rock revealed real dramatic promise, with King Creole marking his acting peak. But the 60s brought a string of formulaic musicals, profitable but artistically stifling. Elvis grew frustrated, trapped by the demands of commercial success. Attempts to break the mold in later films came too late to revive his acting ambitions. In total, he starred in 31 films, a testament to his star power, but also a cautionary tale about art versus commerce. Still, his magnetic presence on screen remains unforgettable. Elvis's reign was crowned with honors: Grammys, a Lifetime Achievement Award, and induction into multiple halls of fame. Curiously, his Grammy wins were all for gospel, reflecting the industry's struggle to embrace his rock and roll revolution. In 1971, he received the Lifetime Achievement Award at just 36, cementing his influence. Civic honors followed, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom. These accolades marked his journey from rebel to American icon. The establishment that once resisted him ultimately celebrated his impact. Elvis's laurels are proof of a legacy that transcends music. Behind Graceland's gates, Elvis longed for family and normalcy. His bond with his mother Gladys was unbreakable. Her death left a lasting wound. In Germany, he met Priscilla, and together they built a family, welcoming Lisa Marie. Fame strained their marriage, leading to separation but not bitterness. They remained close for life. Surrounded by the Memphis Mafia, Elvis was both protected and isolated. The insulation deepened his loneliness, making it hard to confront his struggles. He was a devoted father and friend, but the simple peace he craved often eluded him. The King's heart was a place of great love and great solitude. Elvis's generosity was legendary, rooted in his humble beginnings. He gave impulsively, cars to strangers, homes to friends, and support to countless charities. His 1961 benefit concert helped build the USS Arizona Memorial, and he regularly donated to causes in Memphis and Tupelo. He championed fellow musicians, sharing his stage and spotlight. His giving was genuine, not for publicity, but from the heart. In a life defined by taking the stage, his quiet acts of kindness revealed another side. Elvis's legacy of giving is as enduring as his music. Elvis built a financial empire before celebrity brands were common. Record sales, film contracts, and sold-out shows made him one of the highest-paid entertainers of his era. Graceland became his sanctuary and a symbol of his success. He amassed luxury cars, private jets, and dazzling jewelry, trappings of royalty. At his peak, his earnings were unmatched, and his net worth soared into the tens of millions. Even after his death, Graceland remains a financial powerhouse. Elvis turned talent into an empire, setting a new standard for artists everywhere. In his final years, Elvis remained a mesmerizing performer, captivating audiences with his charisma and unmistakable voice. Yet, behind the dazzling lights and the adoring crowds, he was fighting a private battle. Health issues and addiction began to overshadow his legendary career, making each performance more challenging than the last. The relentless pace of touring, the pressure to live up to his own myth, and the isolation of fame took their toll. Those closest to him, friends, family, and bandmates, watched with growing concern as the man they loved seemed to slip further away, weighed down by the demands of superstardom. Even so, his last concert in June 1977 revealed flashes of his old brilliance. For a moment, the world glimpsed the electrifying performer who had changed music forever, reminding everyone of the magic that made him a legend. On August 16, 1977, the world was stunned when Elvis was found unresponsive at Graceland. Despite desperate attempts to revive him, he was pronounced dead at just 42 years old, leaving a void in the hearts of millions. The news sent shockwaves across the globe. Headlines blared the tragic announcement, and fans everywhere struggled to comprehend the loss of such an iconic figure. In the days that followed, thousands of fans gathered at the gates of Graceland, holding candles and sharing memories. They mourned not just a superstar, but a man who had touched their lives with his music and spirit. His death marked the end of an era, closing a remarkable chapter in music history. Yet it also sparked the beginning of his myth, as tributes and stories poured in from every corner of the world. The king was gone, but his legend only grew stronger. Fans created shrines, artists painted murals, and his influence continued to inspire new generations. Frozen in time, Elvis remains forever young, forever iconic, a symbol of hope, rebellion, and the enduring power of music. Decades later, the music and the myth endure, echoing through speakers and hearts around the world, ensuring that Elvis Presley will never truly leave us. Our journey ends, but Elvis's story plays on, his influence echoing through generations. He fused gospel, blues, and country into a new sound, giving voice to a restless generation. His legacy is complex, a symbol of rebellion, a seeker of home, a king who is deeply human. Above all, he proved the power of one voice to change the world. Elvis's story belongs to all of us, each finding our own connection to the king. Thank you for joining me in celebrating the eternal echo of Elvis Presley. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe, share this video with fellow Elvis fans, and let us know your favorite Elvis moment in the comments below. Your voice keeps the king's legacy alive.